Good evening. My name is Steve Worthington. I'm the mayor of University Place, and I'm calling the January 2nd, 2024 University Place City Council meeting to order. And Emmy, would you like to start with a roll call, please?
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Boykin.
Here.
Councilmember Wood.
Present.
Councilmember McCluskey.
I'm here.
Councilmember Fleming is excused. Councilmember Grassi.
Present.
Mayor Pro Tem Figueroa.
Present.
Mayor Worthington.
Present.
Mayor, you have a quorum.
Very good. Thank you. And I would like to invite Mayor Pro Tem Figueroa to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. And that brings us to our first item this evening. It's a very special evening tonight. This happens every 2 years, just following our election cycle. And so to begin with, we have our oath of offices. And we have our two new council members to be sworn in. And Councilmember Boykin, if you could stand in front of the dais, and I will invite Judge Kari Williams up to, the Honorable Kari Williams up to do the honors there, swearing you in.
My pleasure. It's actually Carl Williams.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Oop, thank you for correcting.
Councilperson Boykin, if you could put your hand in the Bible, please repeat after me.
Yes, sir.
I, Frank Boykin,
I, Frank Boykin,
having been duly elected to the office of council position number 2
having been duly elected to the office of position number 2
of the city of University Place, Washington,
of the city of University Place, Washington,
do solemnly affirm that I am a citizen of the United States
do solemnly affirm that I'm a citizen of the United States
and the state of Washington,
and the state of Washington,
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States
that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States
and the Constitution of the laws of the state of Washington,
and the Constitution and the laws of the state of Washington,
and will, to the best of my judgment,
and will, to the best of my judgment,
skill and ability, truthfully, faithfully, diligently, and impartially perform the duties of the office of council position number 2.
Excuse me?
Of the office of council position number 2.
Of the office of council position number 2
In and for University Place,
in and for University Place,
Washington.
Washington.
As such duties are prescribed by law.
As such duties are prescribed by law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations again.
Thank you.
Very good. And I would now like to invite Councilmember-elect Grassi up to the front of the dais, and along with the Honorable Grant Blinn as our judge to perform the swearing in.
Please raise your right hand. I, Melanie J. Grassi,
I, Melanie J. Grassi,
having been duly elected
having been duly elected
to the office of council, position number 7
for the office of council, position number 7
of the city of University Place, Washington,
of the city of University Place, Washington,
do solemnly affirm that I am a citizen of the United States
do solemnly affirm that I am a citizen of the United States
and of the state of Washington,
and of the state of Washington,
that I will support the Constitution and laws of the United States
that I will support the Constitution and the laws of the United States
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
and the Constitution and laws of the state of Washington,
and will, to the best of my judgment, skill, and ability,
and will, to the best of my judgment, skill, and ability,
truly, faithfully, diligently, and impartially
truly, faithfully, diligently, and impartially
perform the duties of the office of council,
perform the duties of office of council,
position number 7,
position number 7,
in and for University Place, Washington,
in and for University Place, Washington,
as such duties are prescribed by law.
as such duties are prescribed by law.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, council
Thank
member.
you so much.
Very good. Linda, did you need any further photos? We're good to go? We're all set. Excellent. Well, council members, congratulations. I am so pleased to have you joining us here on the dais, and we look forward to working with you for the years to come. Thank you very much. With that, we're going to move on to the next portion of the meeting. Again, we do this every 2 years, and it is the election of mayor. Every 2 years, the City Council selects amongst their own membership who will be the mayor for the next 2 years. So for 24 and 25, 2024, 2025. And I'll be taking a vote shortly on that. We'll be using a raised hands method for the vote. But before we get to the vote, we get to nominations. And I'll ask for nominations, but to get things started, I nominate Javier Figueroa for mayor for 2024, 2025.
Order. You do the state of the city first?
Oh, do I?
Yes.
Darn. Oh, I was so ready to do this.
You're not done quite yet.
Okay. All right. Well, then I am also happy to do the state of the city as well, but I obviously wanted to get into the switching chairs. So, Linda, let's see if I get myself back on order, and we'll do this. It's hard to believe that we have turned the calendar to 2024. But before we put the 2023 calendar too far behind us, let's take a few minutes to look back. Public safety is a top priority in University Place. After an extensive public education campaign, a ballot measure was approved that, over time, will bring on 9 new additional officers. They'll be led by our new police chief, Pat Burke. Also, new in 2023 is a K-9 team member, Coda Rainier. Coda was made possible by a generous donation by UP resident Barbara Cooper. Investors continue to choose University Place as a great place to do business. In 2023, we saw 2 major multifamily housing developments take shape: Alta Narrows Village and the Duo Apartments. The Duo is already welcoming new residents. We also saw 16 new businesses open, expand, or renovate in the city during 2023, and we issued more than 300 new business licenses. University Place Public Works crews have been busy all year, keeping our parks in tip-top shape and conducting necessary street maintenance. Major road projects tackled this year included asphalt resurfacing of Grandview Drive. Chambers Creek Road received significant upgrades such as construction of new sidewalks, street lighting, and landscaping improvements.
A brand new road, 37th Street Court, was added between Drexler Drive and Bridgeport Way. This greatly improved access and parking for Homestead Park. And we love the new colorful vinyl wrap utility boxes that can be seen along Cirque Drive. This was artwork designed by local UP students. Maintaining our parks is also a top priority. 2023 saw upgrades to Cirque Park, including a new perimeter trail with exercise stations, and construction began on major skate park improvements. Many of these accomplishments were the results of public input, so we continue to seek the opinions and insight of our constituents by conducting regular flash vote online surveys. Transparency is important to University Place. We air and stream our City Council meetings live on UP TV so anyone, anywhere can hear firsthand what's being discussed.
Concerned about the safety of an intersection.
There are multiple ways to stay informed, such as our bi-weekly e-newsletter, Headlines, or our print newsletter, Between the Lines, which goes out to every mailbox in University Place. And new on the city website, Police Chief Burke created a police blotter, which gives the community an opportunity to keep up to date on recent police activity. But what would a year-end recap be without a look back at some of our spectacular community events? From deck days to concerts in the park, music on the square to movie in the park, Oktoberfest, and of course the annual Christmas tree lighting, we demonstrated yet again that we enjoy having fun in UP. On behalf of the City Council, I extend my gratitude for the opportunity to serve University Place. We're truly a small but mighty place with a track record we can all be proud of. Let's look forward to another amazing year in 2024.
Thank you. Thank you. It has been an amazing year in 2023, and I really want to express my appreciation to Linda and our communications team for putting together the video there. It helps capture some of the big moments we've had in this past year. And it's been a pleasure being able to share that with all of you here as well. This is, as you may have gathered, this will be my last meeting as mayor. I'll continue on as as a city council member. I have 2 more years left in my term before I'm up for re-election. But before I step away, I did want to provide a few parting comments and take advantage of this, I guess, final opportunity. Over the last 2 years, I have had the pleasure of working with all of you as our residents, as our council members, as our city staff team, and it has been a pleasure indeed. I have found it to be some great moments in my life. We have had our challenges, but together we've been able to face those things. We've been able to figure out a way to recover from COVID in terms of building the community back. We've been able to figure out how to get council members, not members, but council meetings again in person, and how to keep them safe and available for COVID-related safe meetings with hybrid meetings as well. We did things such as address our public safety needs in this community, and there was a lot of pride in that. And yes, we had to do that twice. The first time, we didn't quite put the right measure out there. The second time, this past spring, we apparently did. You, our residents, our voters said yes. We've been busy since then getting ready to implement those changes as the dollars and officers become available. We've also been working on some other challenges, such as the King Tide event that we had this past winter, helping folks in Sunset Beach, on Day Island, and other places deal with some of the issues of their homes being flooded, having issues with how to deal with insurance, how to mitigate problems from flooding events, and how to look to the future to make their homes safer, and for us to look to the future, how to make our communities safer for all. Our city staff, I've been very proud of. They have found ways to address many of those items. And we've continued to look for new resources to help build bridges that need to be replaced, to help add roundabouts that we are getting state and federal money for. And it's been great being part of the team that does this. As mayor, it's been a different role than as a council member. But I'm looking forward to continuing my role as a council member. It's been a great moment to be the mayor of University Place. I've been very proud. Proud because you have honored me with this, but proud really because this is such a great community, and it's been wonderful to be part of that. I am also proud to be part of this council. You folks have done, my fellow council members are all leaders. They all work to get things done for each and every one of us. And none of us can do anything, including me, without the help of the person next to me, without the help of the person next to them. That sense of teamwork is what really makes this work for us and builds our community, making it stronger all the time. We've faced a number of challenges. We've had some good times. We've brought back festivals. It has been a new era. And again, I've been proud of being part of that, working with my fellow council members here. It's been a pleasure that you've provided me with this opportunity. Thank you. And to represent each and every one of you at various times. I don't do that lightly, and it'll be a special moment for me. And now I'm ready to step back into the council member role to help and support the next mayor pro tem, and to work with each of you again as a fellow council member. Thank you for this opportunity. Okay, now I can take the vote. Good. Well, great. Well, I will get back to what I started to say earlier about taking our vote in the election of mayor. Now, and as I said, every 2 years we ask ourselves who the next mayor will be, selecting among the council members for a 2-year term. And each year each election it's a different person. We also ask who the mayor pro tem will be. And I'm about to take the vote for mayor. As I mentioned previously, voting will be done by a raised hand method. The first candidate that receives a majority, which is going to be 4 votes, will be the person selected. And with that in mind, to get the process underway, I nominate Mayor Pro Tem Council Member Javier Figueroa for mayor. But I would also call for any other nominations. Are there any other nominations for mayor? Any other nominations? Seeing none, I'll close the nominations. And with that, those council members that are in favor of Javier Figueroa as our next mayor, please raise your right hand. 1, 2, 3. I think we've got it. So, congratulations.
Thank you.
Now we're going to repeat the process for Mayor Pro Tem, a very similar process, and I will start by entertaining nominations. We'll vote in the order that nominations are submitted, and we'll also vote by raising the right hand. So, do I have any nominations?
Mayor, I nominate Councilman Ed Wood.
Ed Wood. All right. Thank you. And do we have any other? Councilmember Police? Sorry. Councilmember McCluskey.
Thank you. I nominate Councilmember Stan Fleming.
Councilmember Fleming, very good. Any other nominations for Mayor Pro Tem? Any other nominations for Mayor Pro Tem? All right, any others? Don't see them. And with that, then we're going to go to a hand vote. Those council members in favor of Councilmember Ed Wood as Mayor Pro Tem, please raise your right hand. Okay, we have 4 votes. So then that's the majority. And Councilmember Wood, congratulations. Now, with that, Mayor Figueroa, we get to, let's see, I get to pass this gavel off to you.
Yes.
And with that comes the chairing of our meeting. So
Thank you, Mayor.
thank you. Congratulations.
So he thinks he's getting away with passing the gavel, but fortunately for him, he gets to keep one. And in honor of you serving as our mayor, and before I present this to you, I have to tell everyone here, being a mayor in this city is not an easy task, especially with the council members serving in this council. We are very experienced members of the community, as well as in our careers. And so to tackle us, to be able to make decisions and facilitate us is a great task on anyone. And so you've done an excellent job, and really thank you for that. And not only that, but he's represented, I want to call him by his first name, but Mayor Worthington, the way he's participated in our city and in the community, in the events. Part of the mayor is not just facilitating, but showing up at different ribbon cuttings and community events. And there's too many to name them. But in addition to that, also meeting with commissioners and all the commissions that we have, and meeting with special interest groups that we have, Friends of the Parks. It just continues on and on. It's a great position to really take up a lot of your personal time, but we do it, and you have done it with great honor and representation of this city, of this community, and thank you so much. And with that, we all are honored. Our council and our city is honored to present you, and this, I'll show it to you. It says, for your service to the City of University Place, presented to Steve Worthington, Mayor, City of University Place, 2022 and 2023. So I was asked to do some mayor remarks as a newly elected mayor, and I'm looking at the present and at the future of our work. And first of all, I want to thank the council for their vote of confidence for the mayorship. And as I mentioned with Mayor Worthington, it is a huge task, and I'm honored to serve in that capacity. Second, I look forward to working with the council staff and the commissioners to accomplish this year's business on behalf of our community. And there's a lot of that, a lot of business to do, but in short, we have a full plate for 2024, and this includes just 3 top ones, and that is establishing a 2025-26 council goals, establishing the city's biennium 25-26 budget, and lastly, completing the city's 8-year comprehensive plan. And those are 3 major ones that's going to take a lot of muscle to get done, and along with all the other work that we have to do. And lastly, to continue working with our esteemed volunteers, and I really mean that word, esteemed volunteers, because they're the ones that really kind of lift our council up and our staff up because of the work they do. Our parks, our streets, you'd be surprised how many volunteers are out there that are constantly given their time and expertise to make our city better, a better place to work, live, and play. So we thank them, and we will continue to work with our volunteers in our city throughout this year. And now, moving on to tonight's agenda. And for council members, the agenda now is, I need a motion to approve the agenda.
Motion to approve the agenda is distributed.
Second, anybody second?
I'll second.
Thank you. Is there any objection to or amendments to the agenda? Seeing none, The motion passes unanimously. At this time, we have public comments, and I think up on the screen, you should see here shortly some public comment direction and how to provide that online or here present. And so at this point, we give this an opportunity for members of the public to provide comments to the City Council about any items not appearing on the agenda or on the consent agenda. So is there anyone from the public here today, present, that would like to provide public comment? Don't be afraid. Okay, with that, understandably, we'll move on to anyone that is joining remotely. City Clerk?
I don't see anyone online, Mayor.
Okay, so at this point, I close the public comments section. Moving on to consent agenda. May I have a motion to approve or amend the consent agenda?
Motion to approve consent agenda?
Second.
Any objection to or any need to remove any item? Seeing none, the motion passes unanimously. We have a council consideration, and under that consideration, we have two A and B. They're under the same tax test for the inclusive playground agreements. There are two agreements, and we separated them for public comment as well as council consideration. And with that, I'd like to have staff report from Matt Kaser and Jack Eklund.
Looking for my... He's online. Jack's online. Good evening, Mayor Figueroa. I'm joined, I think, online by Jack Eklund. Jack and I, we had talked beforehand, and we're going to break this presentation down into two parts. Jack was going to talk about all the fun park-related stuff. I was going to talk about the legal boring stuff. And just in the nick of time. I was logging downstairs. So.
Welcome.
For consideration tonight are two related agreements, has the mayor's initial comments related to the inclusive playground. The first agreement is a memorandum of agreement with the University Place Parks and Rec Foundation. As council may recall, it has heard a number of presentations from the Parks and Rec Foundation, which has taken lead on fundraising for an inclusive playground at Cirque Park. Before you tonight for consideration is a memorandum of agreement separating the respective rights and obligations between the city as well as the UP Parks and Rec Foundation. As noted in your council materials as well as the accompanying memorandum of understanding, that agreement clarifies that the city shall retain ownership of the park, shall retain ownership of the improvements, and once the park is, or the playground is otherwise complete, we're responsible for the repair obligations associated with that. We may, but are also not required to secure additional grants to do improvements and the like. The Park and Rec Foundation's primary responsibilities, as they have shared with council repeatedly, has been taking the primary labor on fundraising and doing additional coordination. That leads into the second agreement, which is where that coordination is with the Cal Ripken Senior Foundation agreement. And you see a very lengthy document in your packet between the city and the Ripken Foundation. The Ripken Foundation, in broad strokes, will actually be doing the construction of the playground. And they would be partnering with the city as well as with the Parks and Rec Foundation to do that. We have identified a conceptual design plan. One thing I do need to qualify, this falls into the boring legal part. The resolution that you have in front of you, and there's two similar resolutions, it does identify that there may still be room for potential changes. The design that you see in there, there's parts in there that the city may ultimately end up doing. So parts of that might get carved off by the time this agreement is ultimately executed. But largely what you see as part of that conceptual design is, for the most part, what the playground is going to look like. We would assist in obtaining necessary permits, licenses, and then as with the underlying agreement, we would be responsible for maintenance for a minimum 20-year term, given the amount of effort that's involved. I'll turn the show over to Jack so he can talk about, as I outlined at the beginning, the fun stuff.
Thank you, Matt.
On the, in your council packet, I want to direct you to, there's a map in there in one of the exhibits to the, I believe it's in the Ripken agreement. Just to kind of refresh your memory about what we have. There's two maps there. One is a kind of a schematic of what the different playgrounds themselves, equipment are. And then the more colorful one shows general areas of what the where the agreement work is mostly being done. So the area in that colored map where it shows a maroon area is the location of the playground that the city originally got a grant for. And in general, the city's that's the location where the city's portion of the playground will go. There is a little bit of overlap where some of the pieces just for fitting all of getting the right space and getting the kind of maximizing the use, there will be a little bit of overlap with some of the foundation provided structures will overlap into that area. But in general, that is the location where the city portion will go, and then the light green is the area where the portion of the playground in which the foundation is raising the money for would go. We do have the city portion of the playground is expected to actually arrive on site to our public workshop on Monday, so that's coming fairly soon. And so we will be coordinating with the Ripken folks and the foundation on the timing of installation. It does look like that there could be an advantage of both from our standpoint, so we don't have it take our space, but also from the foundation side to, if groundbreaking happens a little sooner, that there is some financial benefits for them on timing of some of their partners. So it may make sense to do it as a phased project to begin our portion and then have us. It'd be separate contracts, although it is done by the same contractor. Both the city and the foundation and the Ripken folks have hired the same contractor to do the work, and it's all being, at least the city side is done under a state contract, and then I believe the pricing the Ripken Foundation got is a similar pricing from their side. But other than that, I think it's fairly similar to what we've heard before. It is, we had the renderings before, and it's a pretty exciting playground. It's going to be out there. It's going to have the inclusive elements, but it'll really look like one comprehensive playground. And we're really excited to get this thing moving forward and see that new playground this year. So I think just open the floor to any questions you guys might have.
If I can entertain only clarification comments, Councilmember Denise McCluskey.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a point of clarification, with the groundbreaking on, or the initial incorporation of when you start the inclusive playground, with the assurity that they have the funding in place, or are you going to go forward with that irregardless if the total funding is in place with certain assurities, maybe from the Carl Ripken Foundation?
Well, the portion in which the city has secured our grant for, that will move forward regardless and that's the portion of where we do the groundbreaking for. Anything outside of that area or outside of what's needed to do ours would really be follow only once the foundation has all their funding secured and they've placed their order for materials and everything.
Mm-hmm. Any incorporation of in-kind donations from the city part that was asked for on this one, or is it strictly just Carl Ripken and all their funding?
So, for these agreements, the city portion is really limited to the section of the playground which we received the grant for. Mm-hmm. And so there have been no additional city funds or resources requested outside of that area. The foundation is looking at other sources, and they have done some, I know some state funding request, or they're going to do some state funding requests and other sources. But right now, the city contribution has been for that one section that's in that maroon area.
Okay. I'll be interested to know if there's any shortfalls. Maybe the city could massage some things with some additional funding, because I'm very interested in getting this integrated playground at Cirque Park. That would be, I'll be bulldogging if I could adopt Mayor Figueroa's term to get this done, whether it's in the spring or the summer. I just like to see this integrated playground at Cirque Park so that we could be a fully inclusive and diverse play yard out there at a regional park that will be, as you know, a regional draw. So I think it's a huge gem to be putting into that crown jewel of our park. So thank you for all your effort. And, you know, I know, Matt, you are a little bit boring with your legal piece, but you know, I read every word that you write, and I'm going, oh yeah, I never thought about that. So I'm glad you're on the team. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Councilmember Boykin.
Thank you very much, Mayor Figueroa. I appreciate it. Jack, if I could just follow up, just so that I'm clear about what Councilman Denise McCluskey alluded to. Once the city has afforded that opportunity for groundbreaking to begin, is there any chance at all, given that the Ripken Foundation is responsible for the subsequent funding, that there could be a delay in where we begin the effort and a reasonable expectation for the wonderful park to be concluded?
You know, until they have their, and I know, my understanding is they're very close to their funding that they need. But until they actually place the order, there is a potential that their section of the playground could be delayed. I think they're anticipating being able to get their funding in place and order within the next couple months. However, it's designed in a way that we would move forward with our section of the playground, which in itself is still tremendous, you know, quite a bit of an improvement from what's out there now. Mm-hmm. And we would be able to have it so it would be a complete looking product. We could advertise it's the first phase, but if, you know, a worst case scenario, something gets delayed another year or something like that, it wouldn't be like a construction zone around there. It would look still like this first phase is complete. We'd have it open for folks to use, and then maybe you may have to shut it down again when the next phase begins. But I wouldn't foresee a big problem there. We should be able to reasonably phase it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Anyone else? I do have a couple comments and clarifications. And Jack, where is the nearest inclusive playground around us?
There are playgrounds with inclusive elements around. I know Puyallup had one or has one, although it is not to the level that this is looking at, and there has been some folks that have reported some issues with that from just it's being a little bit, it's a little older. I believe Bainbridge Island, I think, has one, and then I know Tacoma has parks with elements of inclusive, but not necessarily an entire thing that is looking at as an inclusive playground. So, and I'm not aware of any of this scale that we'd be looking at anywhere in our vicinity.
Thank you. And for the members of the public here, this is a very, very special inclusive playground that's about to occur in University Place. It will happen. And it's very special to our community. It just doesn't happen every day. And I'll be remiss, or our council will be remiss, not to point out a person, Chris Saunders, if he would stand. I think she's still here. Yes, Chris? Yes. This young lady has really done a lot of heavy work to get this inclusive playground in University Place, and we thank you. So the last part, Jack, thank you, is that for those that are just heard about it and curious, we're about to enter and vote on these two agreements, but without much, with a lot of debate, a lot of study. It's been months and a lot of work from staff to get us to this point. And so this doesn't come easy in trying to put all this together, but we're about to have a very special playground in University Place. So without any more questions or comments, I'd like to go to a public comments. And with that, anyone that would like to comment on this particular item, would you please come forward? And I see one person, Chris Saunders. Would you please, you have 3 minutes, Ms. Saunders, and please state your name and your address.
I'm Chris Saunders, and I live in University Place on 40th Street. And I'm privileged to be the president of University Place Parks and Recreation, which has 11 board members and represent pretty much every corner of our city, including the Rotary, the school district, and many others. This idea was born out of United for University Place and the Rotary. The Rotary was working on it for a while, and Claudia Ellingsworth was leading the charge over there. And then someone came to United for University Place and said, we should build an inclusive playground, and had a thought as to where it should go. And it was like a postage stamp. I went, well, I think we should do better than that. So such conversations with Jack Eklund and Rotary and so on, and suddenly the project was born at Cirque Park. We've been at it 21 months. We have design, we have a good amount of money in the bank. We had, I can actually announce now that Ben B. Cheney Foundation has contributed at a platinum level. We have a board member who contributed at a bronze level. We've brought in over $400,000 in the last month. So we're excited. I think we may not be at the end, but we may be at the beginning of the end, or the beginning of the construction. And of course, once we really get that order put in, then I told somebody recently I get to answer my phone, and other than that, Cal Ripken and Mr. Eklund and his people lead the charge. So we'll be at groundbreaking, and then we get to have a party at the end too. So it's really exciting. This is really a milestone for us. There is still plenty of opportunity to contribute. We need local support. We are very excited to have those who are supporting us, because it really helps to speak to the foundations who are coming and bringing money. So, of all types, everything of all types. We're doing very well, but there is more to be raised. So, thank you so much. Thank you for your support. The closest inclusive playground is in Gig Harbor. And it is a kind of a boat thing, so.
Thank you. Anyone else here that would like to comment? Seeing none, I close the public comment section of our inclusive playground agreements. With that, I'd like to have someone, I need a motion and a second for, we'll take one at a time, and then we'll go for 12A.
Mayor Figueroa, I would make a motion to approve 12A, the agreement with University Place Parks and Recreation Foundation.
Mayor, I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. And with that, I'd like to open up for discussion among council members. I want to say Mayor Worthington. You always will be a mayor. Councilmember Worthington.
Thank you. Indeed, this is a special moment for us and for our community specifically. I think certainly I've been looking forward to being able to vote on this issue. I'm glad that it's here, and I'll be voting yes.
Councilmember Wood.
Just a quick comment. First, I'm obviously very supportive of this. I think this is a brilliant project and brilliant idea. And this is really the result of community action. The council did not start this project. It wasn't, something that we dreamed up on our own. This came from the community, and the community is building it, and it's amazing. I'm very impressed. Thank you.
Councilmember Grassi.
Well, I just want to say that I am in full support, and I want to say an extended thank you to everyone who's put in their blood, sweat, and tears into this project. And to echo Mayor Pro Tem Wood's comments, this is the beauty of our community coming together, and the beauty that we can come together and make things happen when we work together. No one is forcing anyone to do this, but because you care about this community and because we care about each other, we're making this possible. So thank you so much. I just want to say one more thank you.
Okay, my final comment would be that this is what we call UP Strong. With that, I'd like to take a vote, and would the city clerk do a roll call, please?
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Boykin,
Yes.
Councilmember Wood, Mayor
Aye.
Pro Tem Wood. Councilmember McCluskey,
Yes.
Councilmember Grassi,
Yes.
Councilmember Worthington,
Aye.
and Mayor Figueroa.
Aye.
Vote result unanimous.
Thank you. Thank you, Council. With that, I'd like to get a motion for the 12B, Cal Ripken Senior Foundation Agreement.
Mayor Figueroa, I'd move approval of 12B, the Cal Ripken Senior Foundation Agreement.
I second.
Okay, discussion? Okay, seeing none, we'll go for a vote. City Clerk, roll call, please.
Councilmember Boykin,
Yes.
Mayor Pro Tem Wood,
Aye.
Councilmember McCluskey,
Absolutely, yes.
Councilmember Grassi,
Yes.
Councilmember Worthington,
Aye.
and Mayor Figueroa.
Well, on behalf of all the community that worked hard on this and everybody that's going to enjoy it, yes.
Vote result 6-0 to the yes.
Okay. We're moving on to item 13, council comments, and we do have city manager. He's not here, so we'll move on to council comments and reports.
He's online.
Oh,
Was online.
but he's online. Steve?
There's no report tonight, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. And with that, any council members for comments and reports? Councilmember Worthington.
Thank you, Mayor Figueroa. Just briefly, a couple of quick things. These are calendar issues. One is just a reminder for the public that our next regular meeting, which falls on Martin Luther King Day, will fall on the next day, Tuesday the 17th. And so just as a reminder, we'll, like today, have a special meeting as opposed to on a national holiday. And then also, Council, I was just recently invited to be a moderator at the town hall meeting in Fircrest for the 29th District legislative reporting out. And so I'll be there this Thursday from, I believe it opens to the public at 11:30. It's at the Fircrest Community Center, and look forward to seeing folks there. I believe the Councilmember George will also be there from Fircrest as a co-moderator, and that's my report.
Thank you. Anyone else? Councilmember Wood.
Thank you, Mayor. Just a quick, in December, after our last meeting in December, I attended the community conversation on climate, participated in that. That meets quarterly. The subject of this particular meeting was a study on electrical vehicle charging and how to bring it to the county, the city, and everywhere else. There is a bunch of money they're still trying to figure out a way to spend from the federal climate pollution reduction grant. And they're going to start working on developing the mechanisms for that money to be allocated through a grant process. It's still all kind of, I'll say a little bit vague, written in mud right now, and I'm hoping we can solidify that here soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem. Anyone else? Councilmember, okay, Councilmember Boykin.
Thank you so much, Mayor. This is a special meeting, I believe it's because that's what it's named. I want you to know it's a special meeting because it's the very first one for me. And it could not have happened without a number of people being here. And I want to make it a point to acknowledge that. I want to first acknowledge who isn't here that made it extremely important for me. That would be Frank Edward Boykin Sr. That is my father, who I lost in 2000, but he's always been with me. He's been my first example of what service looks like. what a good father looks like, what it means to be invested in your community, and what it means to be invested in family. And I have all of that here, all of those elements. I want to acknowledge my mother, Marie Boykin. That's the beautiful woman that's right there that is in blue. And she is, thank you very much. Yes, yes. I don't want to belabor this, but he who has the mic is in charge. One person who told me that was the late Dr. Harold Gene Moss, and I want to acknowledge his presence, and his wife, Jeannie Jefferson, who is also among us. Thank you so much. I've got my sister, my older sister Rhonda, my younger sister Renee. I've got my beautiful wife Alice. I've got my daughter Tasia. I've got so many people here who have been magnificent. My goddaughter Jada, her mother Eleanor, the extended family of the Tacoma-Pierce County Black Collective, my American Leadership Forum class of 25. I am sorry, I could go on, but I want you to know that it is extremely important to show up and serve well. I learned those lessons from the very first time that my father shared with me what was most important, to create legacy and to create a legacy of service that hopefully, if it's done earnestly, it will stand the test of time. This is the first time this time that we'll start that journey of service, and I really invite you all to come along with me. I absolutely love to serve. I couldn't do better than serving right here where I have a home and where I am destined to bloom, where I'm planted. This is amazing. So thank you so much. Please, please expect the best of me. What I can promise you is you get the very best of Frank Boykin in service to the residents of City of University Place. Thank you so much for your time.
Well said, Council Member. Anyone else? Oh, Councilmember McCluskey.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Boykin, I have no doubt we're going to be amazingly successful. You've had a tenure of service for many, many years. That's prepped you for this position. You have obviously people that are wholeheartedly and passionately supporting you, and somebody above you that's looking down on you to guide you through some of the hard decisions. Even the easiest decisions on the council is difficult. But I have no doubt in my mind you're going to be amazing, as I have no doubt in my mind about Councilmember Grassi.
Yes.
So
thank you.
Thank you for that comment and the pause and the reflection to really, for me as well. So appreciate you. I would like to take this moment to also thank the citizens of University Place for my tenure thus far on the council, and also like to recognize former past mayor Kent Keel, Mayor Pro Tem, and council members, who has taken time out of his quite busy schedule to support us on our first day in 2024. And he suited up too, so that's impressive. So this moment is a very freeing and renewal of my commitment to transparency, as well as to have all the prayers in my community work with me and for me as I sit on this dais collectively towards the best health and wellness and visionary community under, obviously, the thumbs of our state and federal constraints that we have for the benefit of each and every one of you and the fellow citizens who have not ventured into a council chamber to see how we actually work. So I'm looking forward to 2024, and I appreciate all of your support, and it's really exciting to see everybody here tonight. That was amazing. And that you weren't quiet. I mean, you were like clapping loudly and hooting and hollering. That's wonderful. Thank you.
Councilmember Grassi.
Thank you, Mayor. I would like to say thank you and congratulations to our new mayor and Mayor Pro Tem. I look forward to working with both of you. Thank you for welcoming me to this team, and to Councilmember Boykin and to the rest of the council. I so look forward to working with my esteemed colleagues, and to the citizens of University Place. I am so honored to serve all of you. And when I say serve, I truly mean serve. This is an honor of a lifetime to be in a city that I've grown up in and loved and cherished. And my commitment to you is to always take your phone calls, is to answer you, and to show up. And this is such an honor for me. I want to thank my family and my friends that have supported me through difficult days. I will never, ever forget every single one of you that have supported me. I will never forget. And I want to thank a special thank you to my mom, who is, as a young widow with 2 children at home, she is making this dream possible. So thank you. And means the world to me to be here. Thank you. This city is a special place to me, and I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment to acknowledge my dad, Ken J. Grassi, who served faithfully for 27 years and envisioned this city and helped create it with so many of you, and blood, sweat, and tears, and hours of volunteering with so many of you to make this possible. And he served for 27 years. He envisioned these chambers, but he never got to sit in these chambers. And so to be here this evening and to carry on his legacy, a legacy of excellence that I'm committing to, a legacy of service, transparency, boldness, courage, veracity, tenacity for this city, and a deep respect for every single one of you is what I carry. And it is such an honor. I do not take this lightly, and I am so grateful for this opportunity. So many things came together to make this possible, and I believe that our city is destined for greatness. I believe the greatest days are ahead of us, and I am looking forward to working together collaboratively, to have open ears, to learning a lot. I have a lot to learn and also a lot to give, and so I am just so honored to be here this evening. This is just a true moment, and I remember sitting in the former council chambers, and I remember watching my father, and he was the first time being elected mayor that evening, and I remember him vividly opening his statement with wishing his dad was there to see him. And I thought, wow, what a moment for my dad, my hero, to still wish his dad was there. And now I resonate with those feelings this evening. I wish my dad were here to see this moment, but I have a lot to live up to, and I have eyes watching me all over. And so I cannot let him nor you down. So thank you for this honor. I will not waste it. Thank you so much.
I'll close out before adjournment with my comments, and that is, I've talked about what goes first, but I'll do the non-significant things first. It is significant, but not as important as my last comments, and that would be that here later on this month, I was selected by the Tacoma Pierce County Chamber of Commerce to be a judge for the National Civic B contest, and it is a national essay contest, civic-wise, and then they turn it over to the local chambers of commerce to do the local essays to judge them. And so I was selected for that. Later on this month, I will be judging those essays, which then move on to the originals, and then to the state, and then to the nationals. Quite a bit of, and we have quite a few essays just from this area. So I'm really wondering to see how many Curtis High Schools will be in there. That being said, you know, I know Frank for a very long time, as well as the Grassi family, and Kent specifically, known him forever. And it is really a pleasure to see Frank here, knowing him. It is a lot of excitement to me personally. It's like a jolt in my body and energy of the things that we can do and will do together. And we're all different on this stage, so different, but yet so positive, and so many things that this community is going to really benefit from. And then, you know, on a personal side with Ken, talking about Ken being here, I really feel Ken, here, more than people realize. He brought so much beauty and artistic to the city. When people still look at, and I still get comments, man, those flowers and those tulips and those baskets and all those kind of aesthetic looking city that we get, the look that we get. A lot of it, if not most of it, came from Ken championing those. And finally, some of us, when the city didn't have a lot of money, we were saying, oh, we got to cut those things off. He says, I'll figure it out. We'll raise money. And he would. Our city is what it is in so many ways because of the Grassi family. And I'm so delighted, Melody, that you are continuing that legacy. I know that you are certainly a UP person, and you love this city and this community, and you're going to do everything possible to do well for all of us. So thank you. With that, before I adjourn, I'd like to not welcome, what should I say? Please join us for refreshments and cake afterwards, which out there in the lobby. So with that, I adjourn this meeting.